Alright, today I just wanted to talk a little bit about this tool I got from Eastwood, and I had looked at some other ones that were, knockoffs on Amazon and stuff for half the price, but once you start really looking into them, those knockoffs are basically a buffer with the head taken off and a big long arbor on it that they kind of modified to hold these wheels, but it's really a buffer. This is actually a gear-driven tool. I mean, this thing is a monster stripping. It's for large surfaces, you're not going to strip down, like little... You can get in door jams and stuff, but there is some tighter spots you're going to use some smaller, brick die grinders and things for, but this thing just, for large surfaces, it saves so much time, like... real game changer doing auto restoration and stripping down whole cars and stuff like that. Like even just to strip down the trunk panel of, say, an old Impala or something. I mean, it's as big as a modern truck's hood. I mean, they're very large panels and stuff on a lot of these old vehicles that I work on, and with the restoration stuff, this is even doing collision work and stuff, stripping down panels to straighten them. You can't really get into a lot with this in the tight spaces like this, but you get these half wheels and a set of spacers, and you can take these narrow wheels like that, and you can set them right in the middle with the spacers on each side like that, or you can put the spacers together and have it right on the inside by the gear or right on the outside edge, so you can really get into some smaller spots with this without having to go right to the smaller tools yet. So this is a nice little in-between before I get into the angle grinders and different size die grinders that I use. So, and the different abrasives, they have a huge selection of abrasives for this thing, and I mean they're adding to it all the time. This is like their go-to tool. This is really what got me into Eastwood, and I bought a lot of things since then that I'm getting ready to review. So I'm really impressed with the stuff they sell. Like this one here. This is the wire wheel. This is for rust and scale, aggressive rust and scale, it says. And this thing weighs a ton. This is brass. This is so heavy. So you can tell the difference when this thing's on there. And this tool in itself is a big tool. This is not a little mess around weekend warrior tool. Like, this is really to get down, and I wouldn't buy this to do a little project or something, if you're not doing a lot of automotive stripping of paint, then I wouldn't worry about it. But if you do that type of work, man, this thing is just a dream to have. It's really made a lot of things faster that I do. This wire wheel for doing truck frames and stuff like that, it takes stuff down pretty good, and it's not like too heavy to use, It is a lot heavier than having one of these other wheels on, but it's not too heavy where I'm like, oh man, I can't stand using this. It's alright, but I will tell you, it is heavier. This brass one weighs a lot. And then it comes with an 80 grit, like this, and this actually does not gouge up like you think about using a dual action sander or orbital sander or something, and the scratches are not quite as deep on this. I guess it's because they're uniform too. It's, cuts them in straight, and it makes a pretty smooth marks in it when you get to the 80. This one makes some pretty deep scratches, but it takes down Bondo, paint, rhino liner, any nasty rubberized undercoating that always stays like gross and gummy. So this black one is my main go-to. This is my second one, this is my first, but I have another brand new one. This one's a little rounded on the edge. It's gotten down a lot, but these last a long time. Most of them are around $25 for these. These ones I believe are like $50, and these are $10 each. These small wheels right here. So these ones are not bad at all. They last a really long time. Like $10 each seems like a lot, but you'll get a lot of surface stripped with one of these wheels. Like I said, this is still the first black one I bought, and I did a whole inner body of a Land Cruiser and out of it. The main part of the body. I haven't stripped a lot of the panels I took off, but the body I actually did a huge portion of it with just this wheel right here, and there's still plenty of meat on there to keep going. I take these things down low. And, well, I haven't worn one down all the way yet, so I don't know how far I take them down, honestly. I have one small wheel that I wore down pretty well. I did a lot with this one and the spacers, and you can see it's not much less. When I line them up, I use that a ton, so they hold up a long time. And like I said, I got new ones of this and the full-size one. I just haven't busted them out because I try and wear all these things down as far as I can. When you're buying your own material, like working at shops, you don't really realize how much money goes into just all these abrasives and material, and cleaner and wax and grease remover, things like that. So, you know, you start to care a lot more about how long your stuff lasts you. So these are really hold up well. And this one here is a 240 grit. This one really starts to smooth things out. It takes a lot of the scratches out, leaves very small marks. And then you get up into this, and this 320, it's not like 320, I use 320 to prep primer before I paint a lot of the time, and then I'll like wet sand over it quickly with like some 400. But, because you don't want to go too fine. You want some scratches for the paint to bite into, but not enough to where you can see them in the paint. But this 320, it almost polishes. You can run this on aluminum and make it almost polished. Like, it's really a different type of gauge of grit, I think, because like I said, this is their, you know, rough stripping, and the black one, it does not leave that bad of marks. And then you get into the 80 and it starts smoothing them down quite a bit, and that 240 really starts taking all the scratches out. 320 is almost like polishing. And this is another type of 80, and they have this in all the grits mostly. This has flat discs in between, and this is a little bit more aggressive than regular 80. This is like a step up, but it's still 80, and it has 80 grit flaps inside of the wheel. So they'll like work down in between the abrasive material, and these things do get down pretty good. They are a little bumpy to get going at first because these abrasives are so stiff, but once you get them worked in and get it going, they'll start laying down a little bit and start cutting real nice for you. So that's another option with the abrasives. But yeah, I can't say enough about how much I like this tool. It's corded, it's a bummer, but this Metabo makes something that takes a wheel like this. I can't say for how good it works or anything. I've never used it. It's really expensive. And this is actually a brush corded tool, but it comes with an extra set of brushes, and I've checked them. There's not a mark on them, and I've stripped a couple of cars, a bunch of panels, frames, and it just keeps spinning, and it has a ton of torque. It doesn't get bogged down, and you know, some tools of this, they can't keep going. This thing is just a monster. It goes and goes, and it has a variable speed trigger, so you can go all the way down to 1 and just crawl. But I mean, I usually ride around like 2.5, 3, and you can go all the way up to 6. So I ride it right in the middle. It has a trigger lock, so if you don't want to have to sit there with the trigger, you just kind of work it and don't have to worry about being on that. You know, you can hold it wherever. Get in under, you know, doing the bottom of a rocker or a mounting door panel, whatever. So it's really nice. The handle has its one fixed setting, just goes down in there and locks on. And I have put it through the test. Trust me, this thing has had a brutal beating, and I really don't want to make videos about anything that I don't get to use a lot, you know, like just seeing something for a second or seeing it perform right when you get it brand new is one thing, but to see it run and steadily over time produce and do the job and do it well and faster. Time is the big thing, you know, especially for me. It's time. Time is very important to get as much of as I can when I'm doing these things, because I have other things that I have to leave and do, and it's, you know, it's a constant battle of fighting the clock. So if you can get things to take some time off of that job, you got time to go hang with your kids or, you know, go see a friend, whatever, but it saves you time, a lot of time, stripping down a car. I'd say if I was doing a restoration, I mean, I don't advise people just to jump in and do one without having somebody help you, or somebody with knowledge, or you having the knowledge, because a lot of people get in over their heads. But even just for one job, for the price of this thing, it's worth buying this just to do. If you had to strip a whole full-size car down or something, I would buy it. It's worth it. And you sell it, whatever, but I mean, it will amaze you how quick you can strip down, you know, a big hood that's been, the Land Cruiser I painted, that I stripped down with this, had been painted 5 times. The whole inside of it was just coated in this nasty rubberized undercoating. I stripped it all with this wheel right here, and it's still working. So, they can hold up. I stripped the whole frame with it too, as much of it as I could, and went in and touched it up with the die grinders and things. So, but yeah, these things are really durable. It's a heavy duty tool. This isn't some little light duty thing. You know, it's meant to do some big work, so you don't have to worry about burning it up if you're running this thing for a long time. I ran it for hours and then burned it up. I've taken the fans out, blew it out, checked them, or the brushes, I mean, and all these brushes are, both sides are holding up very well. They give you a free extra set with it, and you can buy them for like $7 or $8 a new set if you needed them. But like I said, mine are holding up really well, so I don't see needing to buy them anytime soon. I'll probably do another 4 or 5 cars before I even have to put that one in, from how good these ones look. So definitely advise people looking it up. It is the Eastwood Contour SCT, which stands for surface condition tool, right there. And it's a really good company. I live in Ohio, and the place I go to, I believe, is in Parma. There's a really cool lady there named Sandy. You can check her out. Helped me with plenty of stuff. I bought a rotisserie, a whole bead roller system, and I'm going to be doing reviews on those as well. But I definitely recommend, if you're looking into getting some stuff. Great prices. I mean, like, some of the things I'm going to go over, they aren't the fanciest thing you can get, you know, ordered from like an industrial supply place, or like from Granger or somewhere, like, but they have stuff that can really get you going, especially like for me buying all my own stuff and everything. And I was able to afford a rotisserie. I've got a body cart that I have the Land Cruiser I'm restoring on. It rolls around perfect. I got the bead roller and all that stuff I'm going to be doing a video about here shortly. But yeah, this Contour SCT Eastwood. And like I said, Eastwood is a great company. They've been super cool with me, super helpful. They gave me some banners and stuff. And some flags. Maybe somebody who comments, I'll mail them Eastwood flag. They gave me some stuff, and I was thinking of using it as giveaways, since they were so cool with me. Maybe help them promote, give someone a cool flag to put up in their garage or something. So I don't know, leave a comment and let me know if someone's interested in something like that. And yeah, I definitely say this is a really good tool to start stripping some stuff down, because it has saved me a ton of time. Things that would have took weeks take days, you know. I mean, that big of a difference. Bondo eats right through it, man. This stuff just chews it up. So check it out. Thank you guys.